change the nature of warfare from just 80 million people being killed to in Hiroshima, 140,000 people dying in a microsecond. So it changes the nature. If you're looking at the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, look at Article 26. It reads, education, Jesse, I was thinking of you, education shall aim at the full development of the human personality. What does that mean? Now take into account this fact. In the state of Minnesota, you're a school teacher, and let's say you're teaching 12-year-olds. Your school year is 173 days. A school hours, 6.5. How much of it, and I honor lunch in the playground, I think there are places you can learn. But you basically have about 4.5 hours of instructional time. Now take that child and put that child's life 364 and a fourth days times 24 hours a day and do the math. What percentage of time are kids in school? About 12% in a given year. What are teachers supposed to be doing in terms of solving the problems? Well, I would argue if you're not working with kids' personal histories, if you're not developing relationships with parents, if you're not creating school environments that are inviting and welcoming to families to be part, then how can we, and our only connection is giving homework. That's often work that wasn't finished at school. Instead of honoring the work and play at home. That's one of the little tricks that we use at the International School in Hiroshima. We have little books that we call Work and Play at Home. And we had kids keep records with their parents of things they did at home. We watched a video together. We went on a field trip together. We read together. And I had a music lesson. You document that outside of school instead of the other way around. Family is the larger context. So I really have thought a lot about the need for teachers to become social workers. And Paulo Freire's last book is called Teacher as Cultural Workers.
Yes.
Last conversation, teachers as cultural workers. I think about that.
Yeah, this part for me, like we was talking about that, they're about to bring this back now, I understand. But when I was in elementary school, we had little recess, lunch, and big recess. And everybody could read, could figure, and do all other kind of stuff. I think this meteorite systems, this country established is based on 3 pedestal cases, and that was homeschool and church. And I'm not advocating that any of them come back with it. You know, I'm saying they don't have to, but something's got to be there. You know, you got to have the pillars and stuff there. And so it's very interesting that we don't play anymore. You know, and when you start talking about how we become socialized, we are asking the school and teachers to do today what they never did. I played. Red light. Simon Says. Mother May I. And you learn. You out, go right over there and you out. You went over there and you stood until they finished. They started a new game, you went back and you played. You didn't get upset or cuss nobody out or try to shoot them because you got it. You understood the rules of a socialized society. We removed play. Everything a child does now, it does it for him. They press a button, it does it. We buy all these things for our children to play for them. The child plays for a minute, he goes get the box, you got the block, I'll pay this money, you gonna play with this. They got the raft and they play with it for a while, you grab it. They grab the bow. We have taken away all creativity and socialization. They're doing the best they can. We need to get back to letting young people begin to socialize themselves. So they begin to understand boundaries and limits. Let's talk about society. We've lost that. And we're in schools working with people who have no boundaries, no limits, and we have no idea how to get at them because we got to teach for the test or teach this, that, and the other. Many schools now are beginning to bring back recess. I mean, I was amazed when I was in school. They were saying, well, it's bathroom time. And they got beat on me in my school because I didn't have on that bathroom break. How do I know when you got to go to the bathroom? I mean, how do you schedule bathroom? I mean, that was just, I mean, and I had 5 and 6 year olds. You know, but you have the whole thing to write your whole thing on the wall about, you know, and they come in, but it's social time, why aren't they doing whatever? amazing to me. My students played. And they went outside and they played. They would just, well, who's watching it? I am. But you know, it's not beyond all doing the same thing, but I don't care. You know, and then we had to go to the lunchroom, we had to sit at this long thing together, and then we leave there, and we go to the bathroom, and then we go back to the room. I mean, these robots. And then we create these after-school programs. I don't want to work all day. They're in school all day, and then they go to another school in the afternoon. What are we preparing them for? We have to be very careful about this. You know, we're preparing them for a world we don't want to live in. And they're going to be in charge. We have to really begin to think about this kind of thing. And I want to add one thing, when she talked about the idea of difference. It's not, difference is not the issue. It's the hierarchy we place on difference that says certain differences are better than others. And that has resulted in difference equals deficient. And I'm not going to use black, white, or rich and poor. I'm going to use fat and skinny. There are people now dying to be skinny. Weighing 3 pounds and swearing they're fat. Why? Because fat has been so vilified that they'd rather die than be it. That's extremely important. We begin to look at those kinds of differences. You know, so therefore, everybody walks into a room, sizes everybody up to see what you got over there. When they make you mad, what do you say? It was my sit to a short set. Now, I can't do this without being short. Okay? But tall is what's happening. So all of a sudden now, you know, I'm sitting there, you know, with 5-inch heels on, you know, I'm just showing bad feet now. You know, but the idea is we learn how to hurt. And so much of that is caught. Because we see behavior, we see what happens. People are treated differently if they look a certain kind of way. Talk about white privilege. There's no way, I don't care what I do, am I going to be white. I can get all the degrees in the world. I can get the smartest thing in the world. And when I threaten you, what are you going to do? You're going to remind me that I'm black. You're going to remind me of what it means to be black. You're going to remind me what it means to be female. Or what it means to be poor. What we have to do is begin to examine ourselves. I was talking about an examine life. And that is, and I'm in a Christian standpoint, what we have to begin to do is say, what informs me? What is my daily comfort? What do I fundamentally believe? Because that whole Jim Crow South was a very cultural kind of thing. We can look at about the war. Hitler had an idea, had a belief. He saw into enough folk that he created the fatherland. So what you fundamentally believe is crucial. Your biases, your prejudices, all of that you carry into the classroom. So we need to examine. You know, where do I fit into all this? You know, what am I putting out there? How do I feel about my students? You know, I love my work to do the right thing. But how much of what I fundamentally believe, when people, young people come to me, I always tell them, how do you think, feel, and act in your gut about those who think, feel, and act as you do? And if what you fundamentally believe became law tomorrow, who would be in trouble? I think that's something that every teacher has to have on the brain. Because you walk to that classroom, you're carrying yourself, all your biases, all your prejudices, all your stereotypes. And that must be overcome if indeed you're going to deal with equity in that classroom.
So we see. We have to get over ourselves in order to accept and have arms wide open for others. We also understood, had a comment or two, about the necessity for history and using history as a unit of measure to observe and analyze what you're doing and what you're seeing. So when you see yourself reacting to something, that's the moment to step back and understand what the re is all about. Professor Enloe also mentioned Article 26 of the Human Convention on the Rights of the Child. Embedded in that